All right, everybody. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We are super excited to be back for the iWin morning show. Now, welcome to June. I've got to say, if you did not see the last episode for Memorial Day, then you already know that we had some tech issues. So I'm excited to be back in the studio with you guys on this morning. And we are going to go ahead and open up the show. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all now, the season is getting ready to end. This is season 2. I'm super thankful. I'm one of your hosts, Professor JBA. And I am super thankful for Dr. Danny and Tanya. They have rolled out with me this season. Dr. Danny is traveling, of course, as we are always on the move. But she will be back with us as we close out the show next Monday. So I need everybody to make sure you set your calendar for next Monday. We are closing out season 2 of the iWin morning show. Now we'll be coming back prayerfully in the fall for season 3. And we want to have some amazing sponsors and people who are like investing. Kenneth is saying, is y'all here now? We here. We having a show today. I'm just doing some opening remarks to everybody who's tuned in. This is JBA, better known as Professor JBA, one entity of the iWin morning show. Yes, we are having a show today, and we're having the official last show on next week. We are super excited about next week. So all things tuned in for the iWin morning show season 2 finale on next Monday. We are super excited to be here. Y'all listen, it is June already. It is Freedom Month. If y'all don't know, June is some of my favorite holidays. It is Black Music Appreciation Month. It is Juneteenth. It is Father's Day. It is also Pride Month. So I cannot not shout out Pride Month. James Baldwin, Bayard Rustin, so many of their photos are behind me. Definitely got to shout out ancestors in the organizing space. Ironically, people of color and queer people have always been fighting for freedom for all of us. So definitely major shout out to that. But again, we are coming out of May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, also, brothers, listen, if you have not gotten connected to the Male Fatherhood Coalition of the National Parents Union, you see this brother, Kenneth Reddick, is one of our phenomenal partners in Georgia. June is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So, brothers, it's a lot of focus on us this month, and I think that's amazing. June, again, is kicking us off for the summertime, but also amazing resources for men. Now, speaking of men, brothers, listen, the Speak Black Man podcast is closing out at the end of this month. Season 5, Suit, Swag, and Success is finally here, y'all. Boom. My very, very first book. It is centering changing the negative stereotypes of Black men. Boom. And let me go ahead and do this right now because we are officially into Jay's Corner of the iWin morning show. Now, Tanya is coming up with the tea shortly, but while I have Jay's Corner and I have your attention, Suit, Swag, and Success, y'all, on tonight. Super excited. Again, we had the accident in the studio, so episode 10 will be airing live this evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Mr. Schoolhouse is going to be on live tonight. And we're talking about everything early learning, why early childhood development is important. I just told you everything that's happening in June. all of these focuses on men and fathers. So we having that conversation this evening with Mr. Schoolhouse. Now at 7:15, because we are back on schedule. 7:15 tonight. Y'all do not miss Speak Black Man episode 12. 7:15 a.m. PM, excuse me. It's going to be kicking off tonight with Curtis Valentine from Real Men Teach. Book is dropping, like some amazing things happening with brother Curtis, phenomenal friend and brother. He's going to be on this evening at 7:15. So Real Men Teach. I started to wear my sweatshirt, but y'all know it's almost summertime, so it's too hot for that. But Real Men Teach, go and check them out. It's going to be a phenomenal conversation on this evening. Now, I know Dr. Danny is tuned in live, so major shout out to Dr. Danny on this morning, my sister and my friend. Suit, Swag, and Success, y'all. We're in season 5. Make sure you go get the book. Now, if you are a father, brother, cousin, uncle, grandfather, godfather, stepfather, baby daddy times 2, it doesn't matter. Get this book, and it's super dope, y'all. It matches the brand Suit, Swag, and Success. Go and pick it up today, Amazon.com, or make it easy. Go to educationalentities.com and get connected. All right, now, all things Atlanta, Jay's Corner is reminding you, if you are in Atlanta, as far as going North Atlanta, all throughout the southern side of the city, all the way down to Palmetto, South Fulton, there is a brother, a good friend of mine, who is running for office. If you are watching this, if you live in the Atlanta area, Rayshawn Kemp, go ahead and look the brother up. Also, former Representative Valencia Stovall is also running for office again. She's in a runoff. Valencia Stovall, Rayshawn Kemp, let me tell you, if you are in Georgia and you are in the area where you can vote for them, make sure you support Rayshawn Kemp, Valencia Stovall. Go ahead, and if you know them, tag them into the conversation. Rayshawn was on the morning show recently during the week of the election in May, dropping some gems on the importance of civic engagement. So make sure that you get connected and you get out and vote. And this is important, y'all. This is important. You've heard Tanya, Dr. Danny, and I talk about the importance of local elections. All right. Local elections are important. We need everybody to get out and vote. I'm not telling you to vote blue, red, green, yellow, purple, blue. I'm not telling you to vote for Trump, Biden, or maybe Professor JBA, whose name may be written in on the ballot. I'm just telling you to exercise your right to vote. Everybody needs to be civically engaged, and everybody needs to be civically engaged on a local level. Now, major shout out to history, social studies teachers I know who are working overtime with trying to re-educate us every year on civic engagement. I feel like they're also proving to us, if you follow anything that the National Parents Union is doing, why we have to challenge innovative models. And if we're having issues with people in our society, like not understanding civics, citizenship, then we probably should be teaching this longer than a semester in public schools, which is not a full year, like a semester. So I'm just putting that out there, right? Major shout out to history teachers and the phenomenal work they're doing to get people civically engaged. But I want to remind those who are watching live on, what is this app? Lord have mercy. YouTube and some of the other, I'm looking at 4 screens, YouTube and some of the other streaming apps that are connecting people to the podcast. Make sure on the morning show, you can tell people that, hey, I heard words of wisdom to get out and get civically engaged and get connected. Rayshawn Kemp, Valencia Stovall, 2 people I'm definitely supporting. They have been doing the work. They have been connected for years. It's not like, oh, I want to run for office. It's like something fun to do. No, these people are really civically engaged. They are really connected to communities. They know what they're doing, and they're good at doing the work. So make sure that you go out and you support Rayshawn Kemp and Valencia Stovall. Now, that is everything that I wanted to remind you guys in Jay's Corner for this morning. I know we have a lot of things that have happened in community, a lot of things that have been happening just in these United States and abroad. But I want to remind everybody that you got to get out and get civically engaged and go out and get Suit, Swag, and Success, y'all. The second book is going to be out soon, but make sure you go out and get it. Okay, we are waiting on the lovely, the phenomenal, I'm giving all of these adjectives because I know she's going to be coming on, making a grand entrance very soon. Now, I know that in the midst of the Memorial Day conversation, now this is a little bit into, hold on, because I'm about to bring you guys a word. Dr. Danny, we love you. Dr. Danny is going to join us in the closing show on next week. But here are your words of inspiration for this morning. All right, and major shout out to Brother Kenneth. Let me tell y'all, Rayshawn was out on the move, connected with people. He's at churches, he's in communities, he's at senior centers. Make sure you get connected. Now, here is your word for this week. It's not Dr. Danny Speaks, but it is a word of affirmation, and it is like connected to a phenomenal song I used to play in the morning with my students. Keep on moving, don't stop. So here's the thing. Keep moving, don't stop. It's the summertime. A lot of people are on break. A lot of people are like on vacations. A lot of people are like sabbatical. I get it. But for those who are still in the trenches, who are still in the work, keep on moving, don't stop. All right, now, Dr. Danny, we love you. I can't wait for Dr. Danny to come back and close us out with a word for not only the week, but for the summertime. Now, listen, I'm nervous about this one because the last time I had some tea in the office, it did not wind up well. So I am kicking off the tea with Tanya, but no tea. And listen, I have my trusty NPU water container that is on the side of the studio, in a container where it does not fall. Y'all, let me tell you, that water accident in the studio messed me up so bad. Phone, iPad, everything. So I'm very cautious about any type of liquids in the studio now. All right, y'all, listen. I know y'all like books on books on books. The Mom Me Chronicles, Mommy and from A to Z. You see the name at the bottom, Tanya B. Winters. Listen, guys, you can go to Amazon, type this in, go and get your copy of the book. Now, I'm going to tell you, I made it easy for you. Educational entities, you can subscribe to the podcast. You can go ahead and reach out to us if you need services for podcasting, storytelling. We're here for you. You can also get Suit, Swag, and Success. Now, the Mommy Chronicles, go to Tanya's website. You can type in Tanya B. Winters on Amazon and go ahead and get this book. Now, the Mom Me Chronicles. I know we are talking about fathers and men this month for June, but let me tell you, what is this book about? Black woman raising 3 black boys. So guess what? 3 black boys. One of them is a good old father. So let me tell you, Tanya is not removed from what we're doing with black men and fathers. Make sure you go pick up this book if you are raising children, if you work in the education space, even if you do Sunday school or vacation Bible school. Go ahead and get one of these books. Say, hey, moms, listen, let me drop this in your bag. These are good giveaways for back to school. If you have a back to school event that is coming up, I can do hard things. Prepare for what you anticipate. Faith over fear, which is phenomenal because I also have a faith over fear chapter in Suit, Swag, and Success, which is interesting because we have a story from when we worked together in Atlanta Public Schools that connects to this. So we're super excited about that. The tea with Tanya on this morning, kicking us off, because it ain't the whole tea. Because remember, she has the tea. I am just giving you some of the ingredients. Please put the name in. All right, we're gonna put the name of the book backstage. We're gonna put that in the Mommy Chronicles, Mommying from A to Z by Tanya B. Winters. Again, on the last show. I'm only laughing because the last show was something. On the last show, Tanya wrote and displayed and made a special announcement about her book, The Mommy Chronicles, Mommying from A to Z. Again, Tanya B. Winters is phenomenal. Now, I also got to do a major shout out to this company that is helping produce these books, which is called Lead Right by a good friend of ours, Dr. Tony Burks. Lead Right. Major shout out to Lead Right. You're going to be seeing some more things coming down the pipeline, but I'm super excited. I have my first book, Tanya's first book. Tanya actually inspired me some years ago to start blogging, and blogging turned into podcasting turned into the books. Thank you, Brother Kenneth, for putting that in the chat. So yes, go and pick up the book, Suit, Swag, and Success, and also the Mommy Chronicles. I'm super excited about that. We also, guys, as we were coming off of May, and again, we are getting ready, it's almost like preparing for the sermon. Like, we're preparing for the sermon. As Tanya gets ready to join us, we talked about vacations. What are you guys doing for the summertime? Now, listen, we're getting into the fashion of, hustling hard, everybody getting ready for what's coming in the fall. Public service announcement. If you are listening and watching this live, go to liliesfoundation.org right now and get your tickets for the iWin. Shameless plug. The iWin is on Saturday, October the 18th. Our theme, of course, is the annual iWin Masquerade Ball. It is a dress-up formal event. Yes. Now, this year's theme is 80s. It's going to impact what you see. It's going to impact the music. Now, you can come in, you're all black and have your shiny mask on. We love all of that. But it's going to be a really, really good time. Get your tickets now. Of course, Hassan Green is going to be doing his thing, performing live. My good brother, major shout out to Hassan. But my cousin Chrissy, who is a musician, but also a singer and also an arts educator, because she's a music teacher. So let me tell you, she is not coming to play, because the sister sings down and she teaches students like to be phenomenal in the arts, and she is doing some phenomenal things in the arts. She is going to be coming down to be our special musical guest for the iWin. So make sure that you get your tickets. They are on sale now. Early bird special. I'm telling you guys, August 1st, the tickets are going to go up, and then it's going to be like, oh man, I got to be at this event. Go ahead and get those tickets now. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's for a good cause. Lily's Foundation supports grandparents raising school-aged children. So yes, make sure you go and support. All right. Now, Brother Kenneth, I know, is watching live in the comments. I really appreciate it. Again, Suit, Swag, and Success. The Mommy Chronicles by Tanya Winters. Make sure you go and get them. What are some of your favorite moments from this season? Again, this is season 2. We brought back the morning show, which started as a Monday motivational call where people would call in. Tanya was our very first host. We would have morning inspiration. We would have prayer, affirmation, and just ways to kick people off in the mornings. Now you're getting real conversations, data, updates. I want to know some of your favorite moments from this season. Now, this season is definitely going to be the Memorial Day episode for me, because it just destroyed the whole studio. But what are some of your favorite moments from this season? Again, season 2, we brought on the phenomenal, or we brought back the original host of the morning show, Tanya B. Winters, who joined Dr. Danny and I. Major shout out to JT, who is still branding the show and leading the work on that end. But we really appreciate JT helping us kick off season 1 We brought Tanya back for season 2 and some phenomenal guests who did some phenomenal things. So that was season 2, and I am curious to hear about what you guys think is your favorite moment from season 2. I know we can't hear you, but we can also look at your comments, right? Okay. Yes. We think we have Tanya on, but we're going to see. Listen, everybody, one of the major shout outs that we are seeing, Barney, major shout out to Barney Jackson. Yes, Barney came back this season as well with us. Major shout out to my good friend Barney Jackson, who was on. Go and check out the episodes with him. I also would have to say now, I'm looking at the YouTube. We can't have any iWin episodes on mental health without the good brother Kenneth Reddick. Yes, I totally agree with that. Kenneth has been on it, with mental health. And again, he is a phenomenal partner of the National Parents Union. So make sure you check out the Brothers Brunch Foundation. We had some phenomenal conversations with Kenneth this season. Also, check out some of our past episodes that we did some, I want to say film critique. We had a film director on, a good friend of Dr. Danny's, and the show was phenomenal. Earlier in the season, earlier in the year, but it was absolutely amazing. Some good shows. So the summertime is good when you're going back and looking at podcasts. Again, if you're connected to YouTube, educationalentities.com, you can check out Speak Black Man podcast. Javon has been on with the No Cap Zone. That's our student voice lane for students to share their thoughts and their feedback. And then, of course, you can connect with all of the amazing iWin morning show episodes. Now, I feel like drum roll, any moment, we're going to have like this phenomenal, like, guest that is going to come on and now officially bring us the tea, because I don't have no tea or water.
Just a minute. I just strolled in from vacation. Let me put my glasses on. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning and welcome.
All right, so listen. Good morning, fresh in. Just popped in off of vacation, as you can see. And here's the tea. I'm going to make it brief. The tea is still about these rusted water pipes up under Atlanta, whether or not our water is safe. And the fact that I know the FIFA people are looking at us like, excuse me. Now, I will say, it is many times one of the things that I've been seeing is that we blame the current administration for something that preceded them, right? And this has been a problem. I came here to go to college when I was 17. This has been an issue. Mayor Franklin ran on this platform, but no one would give her the money she asked for to fix this problem. And here we are again today. And so it is not Mayor Dickens' fault, but it has happened on his watch. And you know how we love to blame the person that we see instead of doing our research on what is really happening. That, and the other T is, why are we voting for a felon? Why is a felon even on the ballot to vote for president? If that is going to be the case, then we need to go back to the board on local legislation, state legislation, federal legislation, and change these rules that we have that have impacted millions, billions of people's lives, not to be able to get their lives back on track when they have completed their requirements for the justice system, which is very unjust for us, and false accusations and all the things that all the measures we have to go through in order to clear our names. People can't vote. They can't go back to college. We need to go back and eradicate all that foolishness if you're going to allow a felon to be on the ballot to vote. So my tea was very critical this morning, but it was very on point. And yeah, America, do better.
And Beyonce said that America has a problem.
And we know it does because we are living in it.
Yeah. Tanya, it's so great to see you this morning. Look,
Good morning.
I was doing this. First of all, major shout out to just being able to hold this down. And I was like, where is Tanya and Dr.
Honey, but that's why you are Professor JBA, because you hold it down. And you
I have 2 amazing books. Crazy trying to do this on this camera. Boom. Boom.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. If you tuned in this morning, this is the iWin Morning Show. Our official last show is going for season 2, second season, y'all. We are closing out next week. It'll be Dr. Danny, Tanya, and myself. Super excited about that. But go to educational entities and get Suit Swag for success, and also get Tanya's book. Get Tanya's book. Tanya, you want to tell? I know I did a good job now telling the people everything. Major shout out to Brother Kenneth. But if you want to go into the history before we go into our conversation,
yesterday. Hey, Kenneth. Kenneth said, "I'm just checking in on my peeps."
Yes,
and I appreciate you for that. Brothers Brunch Foundation had a great event over the weekend. I think I saw you guys on Facebook.
Yeah.
I did a cleanup, a community cleanup. So shout out to Brothers Brunch Foundation and Brother Kenneth Reddick II. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
That's a great way to kick off the summertime, y'all. Cleanups are important all throughout the year. But when people have time off and they need things to do, maybe, they don't want to really plan anything, but it's like, hey, I see you out here doing something good for the community. Let me send some of my grandkids and kids right on around there to help you. You'll be shocked how you can get a lot of things done in your community. So yes, major shout out to Brother Kenneth.
It's summertime, guys. It's already in the 90s here in Atlanta. I wonder what everybody else is doing across the nation. Yesterday, I stopped by our pool and I was like, last year I swam every morning before I went to work. And I noticed the pool hasn't been open as early. And the lifeguard was like, girl, I'm here at 9 a.m. That brought so much joy to my soul, because let me tell y'all, in the spirit of summertime and doing things that are better and good for ourselves, I'm doing a 30 for 30 challenge. So for all 30 days in June, I have to move my body at least 30 minutes. Here's the good thing, baby. It is June the 10th, and you got 20 days in June. So you can move your body for 20 minutes for the next 20 days, or you can move your body for 30 minutes, or you can move your body however many minutes you want to, but just move your body.
Move your body. Listen, that is Tanya. I tried to go swimming in the swimming pool on one of normally when we travel, when I travel for work, I'll go to the gym and I'm like, let me get in the pool because I can swim. And I think a lot of people feel like black people still can't swim. No, black people can swim. But I'm connecting some dots here. I went to go swim and I was like, oh, baby, I used to could do this. And now I had to realize that I've got to, continue exercising, because the pandemic did do something very interesting for our hearts and also our respiratory systems, especially those of us who had to get the what is it, COVID-19 shot, right? Yeah. Like if you had to get it because you have, aging parents or grandparents, and it's just like you can't imagine not being around them for months on end. That's just out of the question. So anyway, make the long story short, I was like, dang, I'm winded. I have to really exercise and be, on it, because it is really, really important. And I was watching CNN early news one morning, and they were talking about how swimming really does good for our hearts, but there's not a big push, especially in Black communities, for people to actually water aerobics and to practice swimming. Get these children into swimming lessons. All of them need to learn how to swim when families are traveling for vacation. My heart goes out to Shivy and Crystal as I'm thinking about kids swimming and the importance of that, because if more of our children knew how to swim and safety while they're in the water, then we wouldn't have tragic stories like Bryce, who had to sacrifice his life to save children. So anyway, get out and get healthy, guys. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, get out and move, exercise. If you are babysitting the summer, if you are taking care of those grandparents, get out, healthy grands, get out and walk every day, early morning. Y'all know how to do it. Early morning and or in the evening before them street lights. You know, come on. But yeah, that was my public service announcement for physical health. Yes.
Before that heat
move your body.
Spank you on your neck in the morning. But grandparents are up early. My boys used to walk with my mom because they used to go to the mall, right? And when they went to her for summer, they would walk. And my mother still gets out and walks, and mother's 84. But something key that you said is that we have to move these bodies, baby. These muscles will atrophy on us. And the key to the not having the pain, because really it's inflammation, it's chronic inflammation in our body. The key to not having that type is that you have to, the ligaments and tendons, it's like a rubber band. You have to stretch those. So little basic yoga moves. Swimming is a full body exercise. It gets the heart, the lungs, you got the arms moving, the legs, you're getting your core workout. So even if you are not able to do the strokes that you used to, holding on to the side and stretching your body out and kicking. But what's important is get to a YMCA if you have children. I don't care if they're young or old, even up to teenagers. I have a good girlfriend that went to high school with me that started taking swimming last summer. She's finishing up this summer and continuing to practice her skill. And there are natatoriums all over Atlanta, from Boundary Waters out near Douglasville all the way into the city to Martin Luther King's natatorium, Washington Park. You have Grant Park pools, all these pools. Most of them teach lessons, and some of them are as little as $50 if you want a private lesson. And then they're cheaper if you're going to do the group lesson. Aqua Tots, there are places all over Atlanta. Please, please, please get your grandbabies, nieces, nephews, children, godchildren, neighbors' children. Commit to supporting someone learning how to swim this summer. I'm committed to Sage Adisa Buford learning how to swim this summer. I already have him enrolled in a program, and we are going from there because everyone in my family, I am blessed, knows how to swim. And we started that when we were 2 and 3. Everybody. Yes. So that is good. Y'all listen, I would love for y'all to pop up in the chat. I don't know, Jason been holding it down. What are y'all doing for the summer? Any travel?
Yeah, I asked. We talked about that at the last show. Like, what are people doing to prepare for the summertime? Where are you vacationing? I have some safety tips that I want to just review. First of all, that mug, that hat, the back, everything is just together. First of all, let me say that. But just wanted to go over like safety tips seriously. This summer, and you know, Tanya, I was also sharing my excitement about June because it's some of my favorite holidays. It's Black Music Appreciation Month. So who are some of your favorite local musicians, right? I want to shout out 3 people I'm thinking off the top of my head. Darius Polk just had a major concert revival this Friday. It was on my grandmother's birthday. So major shout out to Darius Polk, spirituality, Christian music. Jason Pure is in Atlanta. Definitely want to shout him out. Of course, Hassan Green, who comes to the iWin every year. Make sure you go check out this brother. He's doing some phenomenal things. So drop in the chat. It's Black Music Appreciation Month. Drop in the chat local artists who you're excited about, who you're supporting. I'm thinking about that for this month. Of course, it's Father's Day. Tanya, so let me share this with you and everybody listening. Yesterday, I went to go pick up Father's Day cards to mail to uncles, cousins, all of that. So I had, not exaggerated, I had about 16 cards for Father's Day, right?
We know you did. We know you
did. And the black lady who was checking me out was like, "Oh wow, you just bought up all the cards." And I said, I chuckled and I said, "Well, it's Father's Day." And she said, "Oh really?" She was like, "This many cards for Father's Day?" She was shocked that I was getting 16 cards for Father's Day. And I smiled because in my mind I was like, we have dads too. Like we have men in our families who we want to celebrate and appreciate.
Yeah.
Everybody's story ain't the same, but neither here nor there. I just smile because I'm like, I'm blessed because I'm gonna
You are.
celebrate my granddaddy and my uncles and my brothers and all of that who are like I'm gonna do it. So it was interesting because there was a lady behind me and she was like, "You got all those cards. That's just so much money you gonna spend on those cards for Father's Day. You could just go to Dollar Tree and just get like some of those dollar cards just to give." And I just smiled at her and said, "Okay." And there was a brother behind her who ironically had 3 Father's Day cards. And was like, I'm actually picking up some cards too. It's crazy that the women were looking like, why are you guys getting these cards to celebrate Father's Day? And I am just saying to people, listen, you got to meet people where they are. If you are a godfather, stepfather, father, a baby daddy times 4. If you are a brother, an uncle, a mentor, a teacher, a coach, Sunday school teacher, pastor, community leader, we all play a role. And I think that that is the importance of Suit, Swag, and Success changing like the negative stereotypes of those in our communities who are doing phenomenal things in the role of fathers. So definitely just want to make sure we're celebrating fathers, right? So that's another holiday this month. I know, Tanya, your dad is very special to you, and you always
Yes,
talk
and I wish
about.
I could celebrate my dad, but even aside from that, the great men that I know that are fathers, so many of my friends and um, my, you know, nephews, and even with my, excuse me, with my children, I made sure because I had gotten the dates, my weekends mixed up. I was like, "What are you guys doing for dad?" I was looking at doing something for him, at least getting him something for Father's Day. Last year they did a cookout, and I went to the park where they did their cookout, and I had this beautiful. It was like a beautiful mason jar that had these beautiful purple tulips in it, right? And I looked up the meaning and all that, and I gave them to him. You know, um, many times the only time men, especially black men, receive flowers is at their funeral. And I read that some time ago, and ever since then, I've been committed to give the men in my family, my sons, my friends, my ex-husband, to give them flowers. When I think about giving them something, and I just have a card, because it's important. And all the men were out there cooking out, and everybody, and they were really looking, and he just smiled and he said, "Wow." He said, "Thank you. This is beautiful." And we are not in a romantic relationship. He's remarried. But it's important to acknowledge that we were a team at once. We're still a team, but not in the same way. This is the partner that I chose. This is my husband. We have children together. So it's important for me to acknowledge his presence and his day, his birthday, and things like that. And so, those women's experiences may not have been favorable for that. And shame on us for not giving Father's Day the same type of love and support that we give Mother's Day,
Yes,
right? Because we all
that's a good point. I love that. And I know that,
we
we
love
have
Dad.
challenges on like both ends. Like
Yeah,
black men can definitely treat black women better. We all know that. We acknowledge that. There ain't no, we gonna hold you accountable on this platform. But black women can also treat these brothers better too. Now
absolutely.
it ain't every story. Major shout out to Tanya, also to Michelle Lockhart, who are women in the male engagement space. Again, Tanya's book, I just got to show y'all this. Like, this book, if you read the back of it, how does this impact black men? She raised 3 black boys. I talked about this earlier, and why this is such an intersectional piece, and why these 2 books are so important when we think about this month. Because we have a lot of we have a lot of sisters that are preventing the kids from seeing their dads because, hey, we were young, it didn't work out. He grew, I grew too, but now he's with somebody else. I'm also with somebody else, but I won't
But you
allow him
still
to
a
have
family.
joy and be
Yeah.
happy because I'm holding our children over his head, because in that moment of our youth, or in that moment of I was choosing you but you weren't choosing me,
Mhm.
we maybe didn't make the best decisions. We are human, but at the end of the day, it's what we, at the end of the day, we center ourselves on love. So what is your
One of the
love
things,
going to be? And Tanya, I just have to shout you out, and
thank you,
your
Jason.
village. I think about my cousin Jamila. Like major shout. I know she's in California. She may be asleep right now, but I just think about how you think about blending families. Break by Stock Collective in California. This book right here, I'm telling you guys, if you are a Black woman, if you are between the ages of 16, because we do have some 16-year-olds that have kids, 16 to 96, you should be picking
No,
up this book, The Mommy
thank
Chronicles, Mommy
you.
from A to Z. And if it's for you, if it's for a younger sister in your family, if it's somebody that you work with, at the end of the day, what Dr. Danny, Tanya, and I do is centered around healing. We are working, like our life work is really centering around healing
It
other
is.
people from things that we've gone
I
through,
want to
but
read
things that God
something
has
that
also called us to do. Go
I
ahead,
want to
Tanya.
read something
Read.
that, since you pointed that out, and I was just talking to someone. I attended a baby shower over the weekend, and I made the mom a mommy basket, right, a book
I
box
saw that
type of
too.
basket, because many times everybody is catering to the baby and what the baby needs on a registry, but people don't give significant gifts sometimes to the mother, and I've always done that, as long as I've been an adult. And so I gifted the book. The grandmother invited me to the baby shower, and I gifted the mother a book and several things. So I want to read something that you talked about for the letter K. So mommy from A to Z, the Mommy Chronicles. There are pages in here where you can color, and this particular coloring page says, I believe in you. But for every letter, there is a journal space where you can journal and a writing prompt. So for K, it made me think about it when you were just talking. It says K is for kindred spirits. May you find a kindred spirit in your partner. Your children deserve two whole and healed parents. A kindred spirit shares your values, vision, and goals for your family, understands the challenges and joys of parenting, and is committed to creating a happy, healthy, and harmonious home together. Now, I said whether you're just starting or knee deep in parenthood, finding a kindred spirit in your partner is essential. Although my husband and I are although my husband and I divorced and have been co-parents much longer than we were married parents, the love poured into our family foundation has kept us strong to this day. And it's so important that sometimes we think we're to choose the partner, right? It doesn't go the way we planned. I planned on being with that man until we were old and gray and rocking chairs. Guess what? It didn't turn out like that. But never did I have the right or exercise the power, after our divorce, to play keep away with our sons. And it was challenging at times. Now there were some of these partners that he chose after me. I was like, oh Lord. Okay, it was still his right to see his children. And I talk about it all throughout the book. There were times when we were married, we had great decisions, building the village and the people who are part of our village. I didn't come with a village, not necessarily, or the villagers in my personal village have gone on to be my ancestors, except for my mother, my father, my five of my aunts. I don't have a lot of cousins because we're all only children. Some of them are deceased. And so I had to build a village. Jason became a part of my village, right?
Woo-hoo.
Coaches, teachers, best friends, colleagues, all became a part of the village I had to build. And I'll tell a funny story. I remember we were in the car one day and we had ridden somewhere with Jason. And Jason got out the car and we were just talking, talking, talking. So by the time we got home, they said, Mama, is Uncle Jason gay? I said he is. They were like, so they began to discuss in the back seat that they were just like, what? They never knew, and it wasn't like, oh, because I taught my children well, but it was so funny me, because I could tell they were just, kind of beating around the bush. And then finally they were like, that's like, we just never would have guessed that. But it was something we said in our conversation. And they were just tickled. But they were like, wow. And I say that to say, one, he didn't become any less a part of their village or excess, or they didn't have a thought about the fact that he was a gay man. He was a man in their lives. That's Uncle Jason. Secondly, I will say that my youngest son was very young at the time, and he did not understand. He said, "Oh, so I got two friends at school that I think are probably gay, and I don't even know it." So it just opened up a conversation, because I talk about it in the book. My kids could have their say, even if they couldn't have their way. So it was open communication for them to be able to talk about how they felt. But that was so funny. There should be a podcast on blended families, but don't choose
Yeah.
me. Kenneth, you know what? We do need to do that. And I would love to help engineer something like that, because it's so important to have a blended family and understand that. My husband has two daughters that are now our grandsons, in the age range of our grandson. And baby, we are family. They play together. They come over to my house. We do things together, birthday dinners and stuff like that. So blended families are
Yeah.
real, and they are an extension of our real family. So I just wanted to say that about the letter K.
That was
G talks
powerful.
about giving yourself grace as mothers and as women. And then somebody asked me, Jason, okay, now what about the dads? I said, do y'all want something from me? Because I'm like, I wrote about moms because I'm a mom. I'm not a dad. Y'all got suit swag and success. They can talk to you all about manhood, fatherhood, which goes, on the dad spectrum. But maybe Jason and I can get on the platform
Let
and
me
really.
tell you guys, there's so much in store. We did a conference, The Making of Men, years ago. This had to be about
Years
12
ago
years
that
ago.
I
And a
spoke.
good partner of ours was like, I really want to see how we could do this for Georgia and like elevate
Yeah.
this work. And so we are bringing that conference back. And I say we because Tanya and I have been doing family engagement work. Like, I'm doing something for the moms. Hey, I'm coming. Like, I'm coming to support. And not even speak. I'm coming to, you need water, you need to go to the restroom, you need somebody to help you over here. I can open it, like, because sometimes we have to show up to serve. And I want to share that with brothers, even those in the church, because I learned this at the church, that when it was things that the women were doing, there were very few men who would show up. And I appreciated those deacons who came and would sit, because sometimes it's just the presence of a man. Like, I ain't got to do nothing, but I'm in the parking lot. Major shout out to Brother Doug and them at First Mount Pleasant Baptist Church. Like, security, they would sit in the parking lot. I don't need to be in the meeting. I don't need to be in what the children have going on, to whoever, but we're going to sit and be present, because our role is to make sure that they having a good time, they're doing what they need to do, but everything is okay, that nobody is not trying to bring them harm. And so sometimes we just got to show up and serve and support. So I do want to say that. And Tanya, I also love the stories that we share, because I remember that with your boys, and then having over years, like, gone through that with when Ray and I got engaged, and Kaylin came, one of my former students. And you guys, if you are subscribed to Educational Entities, you can go back a couple of years and see Kaylin, who is now in college. When he was in high school, he was on the podcast. Like, that was my student leader, bro, just everywhere. He came to him and his mom, Coach Kelly. Major shout out to Coach Kelly. I'm in their village, and came to my like wedding, like engagement, like ceremony, and it was amazing. I was so shy. I was like, yeah, one of my former students, and people who know me were like, what? Like, you got a student here? And I was like, yeah, because he's in my village. And I'm sharing that to say, like, when you show up as your authentic selves, I get this a lot, especially from Black boys, and they'll be like, oh, you have a husband? Like, what? Like, because it should not be a thought. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but like, I would never forget Poppy told me as a kid, people should love you for you. They should love you for how you show up and who you are, not who you choose to be with or what shoes you have on, or if you choose to go into the Air Force instead of the Navy. Like, people should love you for who you are. And then all of the other nuances, they'll just still love you because they love you, and they'll go with the flow. And I think we need more spaces like that. You know, Brother
Yep.
Kenneth mentioned we should have a podcast for blended families, but we should also be intentional about creating safe spaces for kids who do have a stepdad,
Yep.
and you know, but I'm living with mom, right? But I also have a stepdad, and then I go visit my dad, and I have a stepmom like that. Like, we have to be able to create safe spaces for people. And Tanya, let me tell you, I love the Bible. I know people read the Bible, but I'm just throwing out other resources that again help us to build foundation and also help us to. And I'm looking at the emojis on YouTube and also on the live screen. People were shocked when you shared that story about, oh my God, the boys when they first figured that out. And I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, Tanya made such a great point. You have to build your village.
Yes.
And uncles, dad, Uncle Johnny. I mean, I am somebody's Uncle Johnny. Now, I know I say I love you, baby. I'm glad that you celebrated Uncle Johnny, but at the end of the day, like, that is a reality. Like, and we have to be able to embrace that. Your son may be somebody's Uncle Johnny one day. You don't see that now. You don't know that. They might not know that now, but if you love them, from what you've heard Tanya say and share in their story, if you love them,
and
right,
acceptance,
unconditionally, like Poppy and like our lilies that I talk about, when you do that, then yeah, your child, whether they grow up to be an alien, they grow up to be whatever, at least you know that
be a good one. Be good at it. Let's be good at it. Whatever it is, be good at it, right? So much love and acceptance. Just receiving a lot of love on just putting the book out. So many of my friends, when they get their books, they're so proud. It just brings me joy to send me the picture, or they shoot a little video and say that they received it. And it is really, Jason, all the things that I thought about. I started the blog, the Mommy Chronicles, in 2014, and have been wanting to do a book. And so one of the things I thought about was all the life lessons that I learned as a mother, and putting them into rolling all three of the things I love the most as an artist, right? Painting and coloring. I love an adult coloring book. Writing, right? Writing prompts. And I got the idea from putting the writing prompts in there and provoking people to go into their own reflection about what I'm talking about, from our good friend, my mentor, our publisher, Dr. Tony Burks. Books are published under Lead Right. And if you don't know about Lead Right today, you need to check them out. Dr. Burks is just an intellect. He is an author. He's a writer. He is a master teacher, facilitator. He coaches and trains leaders, principals, superintendents, school districts for greatness. And it's such a joy. We talk about our villages that we've built. That's the person that I invited into my village, and we became a part of each other's villages. So when you talk about building a village, I'm so blessed to have the village that I have, and to have within my village a person to say that has written books, authored books, produced, co-authored, ghostwritten, obituaries, everything, to be able to say, would you help me with this project? And he has been that for both Jason and I. So I'm just very thankful. Again, I say in the book, babies don't always come with a manual, and mamas don't come with the village that they need. So it's imperative that we kind of get the okay to say, let me build my village. And guess what? It may not be your mama. It may not be some of the folks in your family, because you need a more supportive village. It is build a bear, build a village. And those will become, your family and your insulation for your child and or children.
Yeah. That is powerful. We're talking about like, and I'm also, it's 8:15. So as we get ready to close out the show on both of our books,
yes.
Just again, Father's Day is one of my favorite holidays. As we close out this conversation and we're centering ways that we can empower our men, One of the favorite parts of my book is the area where, again, like writing, y'all, you know, we want you to write, get in these books, read, and also do some work. So it's the segment where you're writing a letter to your dad.
Yeah.
And it is so powerful, and I'm sharing this aspect so that hopefully it heals other people.
Yes.
When I say other people, I'm speaking for my father. Like, I'm hoping that it heals my daddy, because my father's father left this earth without trying to reconcile, trying to apologize. My Uncle William loved him to death. I know that's his dad. But also in knowing his father and people who know me, I continually, even after my daddy was like, we don't have it, he doesn't want to claim us, we have nothing to do with him, still sent cards, still sent letters, because that's just how I am. Because ain't nobody gonna change me.
Right.
Still reached out to this man, left this earth without reaching out to cousins, any family. Remember, I'm just thinking about my cousins who loved him, who had a relationship with him. Did not reach out, told my uncle, like, I'm passing away, I don't want anyone to know. Like, no, even when he passed away, Tanya, I think you were one of the people that I called. I was teaching. My cousin calls me. He's teaching. Someone I just want y'all to imagine this. Someone comes up to my cousin in another state to hug him and say that we are so sorry to hear about your uncle's passing. What are you talking about? So my cousin finds out that my grandfather passes away while he's teaching in his classroom, to have to call me to tell me that my grandfather has passed away and has been deceased for over a month.
Wow.
So I'm just sharing this as you talk about healing. So I understand that my uncle who is grieving his father is going through something, but not once in your Christian household, and you know I got to call the church out, baby, because how we gonna be about healing, but then we don't go and do it? Even in the hurt from my father, it's the disdain that hurt from your father caused your brother not to call, write, send it, nothing, to say anything to anyone else connected, so no one else has come, especially when you knew that his sister went above and beyond to help repair. And so in my book, the reason why this is so important, because I went back to my former students who have been in similar situations, and these are not made up letters. These are letters from former students who talked to me about the heartache of having a father who continued to neglect. So brothers, I'm speaking to brothers that have children out here, and you have continued to neglect them, and all they're saying is, we just want you to acknowledge that we're here. You don't even got to call me every day, but let's have a conversation that we are connected in this way, so that I can have peace and move on, and maybe you can have some peace too. For this Father's Day, writing letters to your dad, and I put in here whether you need to burn it up, tear it up, keep it, mail it, but write those letters to your fathers. So that we can start to close these gaps of, my father wasn't there for me in this way, but now I'm a father figure. Now I'm an adult, and I don't want to carry or cause that hurt to be passed down. Whether I'm the uncle, right, that has showed up, and now I'm disconnected, where I am the cousin, whether I'm the son that has disrespected my mom or my dad or my family. I want people to be intentional. And I know we are like a couple of minutes over our time, but I want people to be intentional with these books this summer and really help your families to heal, because that is the point that I'm making, that my uncle chose and made a decision, and where it caused hurt with a few people, I am now making a conscious decision to say, I'm going to share the story, but I'm going to share it in a way that others can break these generational curses, and we can actually heal. So everything happens for a reason, and I want to see more families healing around. This is Freedom Month, Juneteenth. We celebrated fathers. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's Music Appreciation Month. We know that men are
So many
storytellers
good
and
things. Yes.
music. So yeah, let's use that good energy to heal our families. And yes, the Quran, the Bible, use all of these books. Yes, please. I have them all right here. I'm not even gonna try to pick them up. I have them all right here. Use these books.
Heal, people,
Also use
heal.
other resources. Boom.
We have to
To
heal.
help.
I wrote in this on the side, I said, we have used our gift of writing to heal ourselves and offer healing to others. And it's such a blessing,
Yeah.
right? To be able to do that. So pick up Suit Swag and Success, as well as the Mommy Chronicles. Dr. Danny, follow Dr. Danny. She is on a podcast. We are booked and busy this summer, spreading love to our community, love
Unity Empowerment
and
Foundation.
healing. And also, June 22nd, we have one of our great friends and partners coming up with what's happening June 22nd. Jason, you want to plug that with Barney?
Every Color Matters Gala is sold out, y'all. The gala is sold out, but let me tell you, our good brother Barney Jackson, make sure you follow him. Cancer is real. We know this, but there are also ways that we can prevent this. Every color matters, whether it's your kidney, your pancreas, your skin, like your throat. They're all different types of cancers. It is not like white people get skin cancer thing and like gay people get this kind of, no, cancer impacts everybody. Get connected to Every Color Matters. The gala is flawless. Now, I will say this. I love the Mayor's Ball in Atlanta, but Every Color Matters is giving the Mayor's Ball a run for its money, baby. I haven't been to the Mayor's Ball, but I have been to Every Color Matters, and I tell you that it is just that. So make sure that you connect to Every Color Matters. If you have men, women, children in your family, even dogs,
they've been touched by cancer,
connected to that organization. And again, if you are in Georgia in the areas where you can vote for Rayshawn Kemp and Valencia Stovall, Kemp, Valencia Stovall, go vote for them by the election date, June 18th. All right, those are all my announcements. Dana, we love you, Dana. Everybody tuning in. Yes, next week is our last show. I'm going to miss you guys too, but you guys will still get to hear me to the end of the month. Speak Black Man. So we got some great Curtis Valentine tonight, 7:15, followed by Mr. Schoolhouse. My good brother and friend from way back, I mean, when I was a really, really young adult, Reverend Brandon T. Crowley is going to be joining my podcast, y'all. If you're from Atlanta, you know anything about Brandon T. Crowley, make sure you check us out on that podcast. And then my cousin Jamila is going to be closing us out this season, all the way from California, Break by Stock Collective. Yes, so gonna miss you guys on the morning show, but we will be back.
Week, guys.
We're gonna be back in the fall, right? We will be back, season 3. We will. We're gonna have some sponsors too. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have some tea mugs, everything. Now, I ain't gonna have no tea, but we're gonna have some tea mugs and everything.
You have a tea mug, but I'm gonna have a tea.
You gonna have a tea. I'm gonna have this. Look, it's got a holder that it goes in.
Listen, let me tell you something. Baby, you are not allowed to have any open liquids on the morning show anymore.
No. Yeah, only you the tea. You bring the tea, and I'm gonna bring the amen. Hey, y'all, listen, we love you. This is the iWin morning show. Gosh, I am really going to miss this in the morning time. But next Monday, we coming, y'all. We coming next week. We're going to sleep again. All right.